Airbnb horror story where I saw the word nude.
Yes.
There was a naked man in our Airbnb. Around 2 hours ago, we walk into our Airbnb.
I love that he's like, this is live.
Airbnb,
Which is a
so it's
shared
living
Airbnb.
space and
Yeah,
2
you
private
dumb mother.
rooms.
What you got it?
Right.
You got to see dick if you get a shared Airbnb. If you don't want
That is a risk you took.
Yeah. Welcome to another episode of Once Upon A Bnb. I'm Ian.
This is Maha.
And we have no guest today. Empty couch. No camera on that, actually. Never mind. All right. Y'all can't see, but there's no one off camera.
Anyways, we do have some clips to review.
Should we get right into that?
Let's do it.
So I gave y'all my 2023 Airbnb horror story.
Wait, is this a man?
I don't
Her
think-
voice is deeper than I expected.
She just got like kind of a Coil Ray.
Yeah, maybe.
Deep voice.
So you know me and my friends, we always taking a trip. Trips always make it out the group chat with her, right? So we decided
so
to
country.
go to Phoenix. Okay?
I have needed the
So we
captions.
get to Phoenix
Right.
or whatever, and we taking our own good little time. You know, we had to hit the dispensary. We had to do all that shit first. So y'all know check-in be at 4. So by the time we got done lollygagging and shit, it was about, 6 o'clock. The sun was still up, okay? So we get there, right? I'm going to show y'all what the outside look like. I'm going to show y'all what the pictures and all that shit look like, too. Okay, so this what we expected. Y'all see that shit? I'm going to move my damn head right here. That's another little view. You know what I'm saying?
I love how she's like ducking out of the way
Right.
of her own video. I mean, I don't edit this stuff, but couldn't she just like,
Move the picture of
or just
herself
not
down or
overlay
something?
her for a few seconds?
I don't know how to do this either.
But
I assume that's an
shouldn't
option.
talk.
Yeah.
Look at that view. Just immaculate.
Watch it was like
We get to the
$100 a
spot,
night or
y'all.
something.
Shared.
We get in the inside, and we notice, like, pictures don't look the damn same. I go to the back. I'm looking at the pool and shit. I'm finna show y'all a picture of the pool. Now, who in the fuck finna get in that shit?
That's a hot tub.
That one with the little one
Yeah.
I just showed y'all. But who in the fuck finna get in that shit? Do y'all see that shit?
That's not that
now let
bad.
me give y'all the tea.
You know what happens when
It's like 2 leaves floating
like,
around.
Leaves fall in the pool.
Yeah.
Let's back it up. I mean, I
mean,
agree,
it's not the
Trey,
cleanest,
but like,
it's not like.
all right, look back. All right. Look at that view. Do you see those trees in that view? Okay, well, what happens to those trees?
Right.
The leaves fall off of them. They fall in that pool.
Exactly.
Like, you know, like that.
They should have a vacuum though, but still.
Yeah.
I want y'all ass to brace yourself for this shit, okay? As we were unpacking the motherfucking car. No, I take that back. As we were packing the car back to fucking leave.
Over the. Did I miss
Just
something?
over the dirty pool,
All right, there are leaves in the pool.
it's over.
We're out here.
No, I take that back. As we were packing the car back to fucking leave. We got another sign that we should get the fuck on. I'm gonna get to all the signs, the reason why we should have got the fuck on. Well, the reason why we did get the fuck on, because we did get the fuck on. Quick as fuck. Somebody go, hey, y'all, look out the window. I know y'all ass can't see what the fuck this is right here. But I'm finna give y'all ass a video, a up close and personal ass video.
Is that a warthog?
Yeah.
Fucking Pumbaa? Where did they say they were? Wait, what? There was like multiple
The
animals.
brother, the uncle, the auntie, the granddad,
There's a whole
the
family of
stepmama.
pigs.
Every motherfucking pig you could think of was out that bitch. And to give y'all the real tea, them bitches was swimming in the pool. You think I'm finna
Shut
go put
up.
my coochie, my face in that fucking swine pool?
Did they see them swim in the pool?
I don't-
Bitch, why
I
the
feel like
fuck something stupid
Because
always
it looked like
happen
it was
to me?
gated.
Last year, motherfucker was staying in the Airbnb with us. This year, we go to Phoenix to swim with the pigs.
They were in Phoenix after all that.
Wow.
There's a large pig population.
I had no clue.
Thought it was too. It's very hot in that city.
Yeah. The pigs would be kind of cool, honestly. Like, oh, cool. We also get to see animals in nature.
That's an amenity like in the Bahamas.
You're right,
You
exactly.
swim with the
People go
pigs.
just to see the pigs.
Not flip a tea.
Flippity does not fuck with the swine.
Well,
So
I will
basically,
say,
the pool is a little dirty and there's pigs outside.
I hope she didn't get her refund.
I hope.
I
Not
think she
either.
didn't deserve a refund.
She did not.
And they didn't give him a chance to clean
And
the
that still
pool.
looked like a badass house otherwise.
Yeah, like did you show any inside?
Right.
Could they not send a pool boy to
Right.
shoo off the pigs?
Turn the vacuum on, the pool
and
vacuum or
scoop out
something?
the leaves?
Yeah.
Yeah. And she was I like she went coochie face. Those are the
Your coochie would get in before your face.
yeah, unless you dive. All right, checking out our next video.
I think I just walked in on a double summoning thing. I don't know. Like, I don't know what just happened. So I'm staying in an Airbnb for a couple of days because they're trying to fix something in my apartment. And I booked a room in a random apartment type thing. You know what I mean? And the host family is very nice. They've been very sweet. It's been a couple of days.
A room
they're
in
like
an apartment?
East European, but I don't know from where. Very lovely. They're always trying to feed me. The food looks a little bit like war rations and it's beige and gray all the time, but it's good. You know what I mean? Thank you. But today, like, I literally just walked out. Today, things switched the fuck up. Like, I don't know what to say. So I told them I was going to be out for the majority of the day, and I was. I came back after like 5-6 hours, you know what I mean? I get into the house, and usually like the living room is like well lit because they're always hanging out there, right? So I'm like opening the door, and like I realize like it's pitch black. Like I was like, oh, that's weird. Maybe they're not home. You know what I mean? Not a big deal. All of a sudden, I hear someone screaming at me, "Close the fucking door!" I was like, ah, okay. Whoa!
What are they doing, a seance or something?
I go, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, in the name of God.
I knew he was
I walk in
Arab.
with my right foot, I'm like, I close the door, I'm like, hello? It's pitch black. They reorganized the fucking living room. There's one singular table in the middle of the living room, 4 chairs, 4 people living, like sitting around it. The husband and wife that are hosting me, and then 2 other older ladies. They're all holding hands, and there are candles around them.
Oh my God, I was right. It is a seance.
I'm setting myself. I walk in, I'm like.
I like that the caption said, I'm pooping myself. I'm pooping myself.
And fork instead of fuck.
Yeah.
I love how he's taking it pretty well, though. He's got a good attitude about the
I try to
seance.
be like, I'm so sorry for disrupting whatever the fuck this is. In my head, I'm like, do I U-turn and get the fuck out? Or should I go grab my keys and like just run to my apartment or something? I don't know. Grab my laptop. I don't know. Like, am I about to be sacrificed? Like, I don't know. So I go like, I'm really sorry. And like, I was about to finish the sentence. The guy, like the husband looks at me and he's like, I was like, they're sacrificing me. Like, that's why this is happening. Like, they timed it right. I'm gonna be on this table soon enough. Sorry. Like, it's taking me like a minute to take off my shoes because they're very anal about no shoes in the house. So it's taking me a minute to take off my shoes, and all I see, like in the background, like all I hear is them being like, and there's one of the ladies like super wrinkly with the candlelight, like terrifying, like rolling her eyes. I was like, I'm gonna get sacrificed. Like, this is what's happening. This is how I go. This is how I go. As I'm walking past this ordeal, I like in my like I mouth it. I don't say it out loud, but I was like, "A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem," like, I rebuke you in the name of God. Or like, I seek refuge in the name of God. You know what I mean? I was like, I am not doing any of this. You know what I mean? And for the Muslims, I read my mu'awwadat. You know what I mean? I was like, you're not getting me. You're not getting me. No. The way my phone's about to die. Anyways, while I was walking past and I was like basically praying, the main person that was going like blah, 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 she turns around to me like this was like how she was facing me the entire time. Like she's like blah, 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 blah. All of a sudden I see her go, and I was like, no.
His laugh is like making this whole video.
Don't sacrifice me.
I put everything in like a tote bag. I start closing. I lock the door. I'm freaking the fuck out, right? In my head, I'm like making my last prayer before I die type thing. You know what I mean? Like I was like, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. I was like, I'm literally about to get sacrificed on that table. There's no fucking way. I'm in there for like 10 minutes, door locked. I'm panic packing at this point. All of a sudden, like 10 minutes later, I hear like a knock on my door. I was like, it's done. This is the hour of reckoning. It's done. I unlocked the door like just a tiny bit, you know what I mean? Foot on the bottom of the door. And I'm like, hey. And it's a husband, right? And he's like, hey, I just, this trash bag just like jumped out. You saw that, okay? I'm not crazy. Anyways, the husband is there and he's like, I'm really sorry about earlier. We thought you were going to be out for a little bit longer, and we were just trying to talk to her mother. I was like, oh, and that was
They were
what's
trying to
going
talk
on.
to
Like,
their
you guys
mother
were
that
just talking
died?
to her? Why was it like that? And he was like, oh, no, her mother is dead. I was like, oh. Like we were trying to speak to the spirits that know her, and then we were going to connect that way. But the woman had to leave because she said the connection was disconnected once
Disconnected?
she walked in. I was like, yeah, because I mentioned God. Yeah. I did that. Sorry, you were not speaking to her mom, okay? That was something else, and it wasn't her mother, okay? You watch Hereditary. Come on.
I don't buy that. All right, like he doesn't know what they're speaking in tongues to. You know, like they could.
Well, they told him.
He said that was his mother, and he's like, "Nah, I started speaking, praying to God, and that like spoiled the devil sounds." That's what I'm getting. You're not
Yeah,
gathering that
yeah,
from
but
him?
he's just joking about that, I think.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm being a little too critical.
Come on. I was like,
Yeah,
listen.
him.
She was
Taking him seriously.
Actually possessed, or if she just watched like one horror movie and did an Oscar performance just then and there, I don't care. But that was really fucking weird, and she was not speaking to her mother. No fucking way. Like, come on. Anyway.
I don't think he's just joking. I think he's very.
I'm sure she was not speaking to this lady's mother
Oh, that's-
or anyone.
I left. Okay. And can you blame me? I'm not staying in that Airbnb. No way. No way.
I wonder if Airbnb gave him a refund.
yeah. Like he deserves a refund just for the fact that they're doing a seance, no matter who they're speaking to. For him to be like, and also you were trying to talk to someone else. I think it's a little interesting that he's like bearing down on that.
I think he's saying it was the devil, not his
Yeah,
mom.
I definitely think it's the devil. He's like, no, y'all talking, but
Interesting.
But again, I don't care if you're talking to your dead mom versus the devil. That's fucking.
It's still
absurd.
weird. I mean, we did a seance.
Yeah, but we weren't hosts.
We didn't connect.
I
We
might
got
have
no
been trying to
connection,
tilt
right.
the Ouija board, but we didn't host. We were like hosts. Like, oh,
Right.
You happen to walk in.
Is this not okay with you?
You fucked up the connection I was forming with the
Right.
spirits. That's what I thought was hilarious. Like, oh,
Yeah.
you fucked up, and he was like, no, you were talking to your mom.
Yeah.
You're talking to the devil. But like, I'm like, what do you mean I fucked up? That's
I'd love to see his conversation with Airbnb about this.
does he have? All right, I'm gonna look. I don't want to get too down the rabbit
Part
hole.
34? Of what? What the fuck is he talking about?
Have you ever been to jail?
All right,
All
part
right,
35.
he's just calling it multiple parts, but they're unrelated.
Listen, before I start the story, I swear to God, this wasn't my fault, okay? It was not on me, okay? Okay. My friend's birthday was around the corner. We were broke. It was summertime. It was in college, and we wanted to go to LA. We lived in Arizona at the time, and it's a 7-hour drive, okay? So we were like, instead of flying, let's ask around and see if one
All
of
right,
our
travel
friends is doing a
story,
road
boom.
trip there, and we can just split gas with them and go with them, okay?
Counts.
Okay. I call around, and one of my friends, we're gonna call him Adam. Adam is a European person with a European passport, not an American, okay, on a student visa in America, okay? This is relevant to the story. I met him maybe a month prior to like me calling him for this thing, okay? And he was so nice. Like he was like, yeah, I'm going to LA like tomorrow morning. You're more than welcome to join me. You and
Really
your
long
friend,
video.
Blah, blah, blah.
Like,
Mind you,
putting
he
it
hasn't
second
even
state.
met my friend, okay? So me and my friend, we're gonna call him Rami. Rami is South Asian. He's also on an international student visa. He's also not American, okay? So me and Rami take an Uber. We go to his house in the morning, and he said he was gonna like rent a car and drive us with it over there, okay? We show up, and the car doesn't look rented. It looks like it's actual.
Is he not in New York? Were they driving
We
from New
wanted
York to
go on this
LA?
trip, so we shut the fuck up, okay? Like we didn't say anything, okay? He tells us, okay, like put your stuff in the car, like no problem, whatever, okay? We start putting our stuff in the car, and like the second we open the car, we smell the smell, you know? It smelled like skunk. And I was like, huh, okay. I was like, Adam, you don't have anything that could get us in trouble in this car, right? And
Why'd
he's
you
like,
think
no,
I was
no,
going
no,
to
no, no,
LA?
Like this is, I'm borrowing this car. I don't even have a car. I'm borrowing this car. So
You don't
even
take
worry about
weed
it. Like,
to
I would never,
LA,
I would
you
never-
bring it
I'm on a
back
student
from
visa,
LA.
dude. Like I would never do anything. I was like, okay, sounds good. Like I'm gonna trust your word. You know what I mean? Okay. We get in the car. We open the windows to air it out. You know what I mean? And we start driving. Okay. 5 hours, maybe 4 hours in, I fall asleep. Now, to go from Arizona to LA, you have two routes. You can go
Arizona.
through Palm Springs, which is fine.
Why
or
does
you
it
can go
look
through
so
San Diego.
cold?
Now, if you go through Palm Springs, you just have a
be
state
dark.
like line check-in, okay? When you go through San Diego, you have border patrol. You have a border that you have to cross that follows federal law and not state law. I had to learn that the hard way. He wanted to take the scenic route. Isn't that fucking amazing? Like, we went through San Diego. I passed out like maybe 4 or 5 hours in, okay? I wake up to a dog barking in my ear. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I wake up and there's a dog barking right here, an officer staring at me, and I was like, and my window's open. I'm like, where am I? What is going on? What is happening? You know what I mean? I look to my left. Adam is freaking the fuck out. He's sweating. His face is red. He's stressed. He's biting his nails. I'm like, did I miss something? The officer looks at me and he's like, did you take something? I was like, no. I just fucking woke up. No.
This is
I was
how
like,
I
you can
talk.
test me in every way you want, sir. No. He goes,
me.
but I smell something. Are you sure you guys are not on anything? I was like, no. And Rami is in the back and he's like, no, sir, we're not. And then Like, Adam's on the side still biting his nails. He's not saying fucking anything. And I'm like, okay, like, whatever. I didn't pay attention because I was freaking out. You know what I mean? He goes, please step out of the car so we can validate what you're saying. We're going to have to search the car. I was like, sounds good. Me and Rami walk out. We're nonchalantly walking to the rest stop that they told us to stay at. And, like, we're making fun of his accent on the way there. We're cracking jokes. We're like, this is so extra. I feel like I'm in a movie. Like, this is so euphoria. What's going on? Like, we're joking. We're not taking this seriously. And right behind us, Adam is, like, walking. And he's pacing. We sat down on the benches. He's pacing. He won't sit down. He's biting his nails. He looks stressed as fuck. I was like, like, what's going on with him? And Rami's like, no, he's probably just, like, stressed out because maybe, like, I know he's not on the insurance or something. Like, it's fine.
What about the beginning of your story?
It's fine. It's
when
fine.
you smelled the skunk.
Right.
Inside the fucking car. I freaked the fuck out. I was like, you're telling me the dog that sniffs, you know what I mean, just smelled something in the car? Amazing, 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 amazing. The officer goes inside, he pulls out what, like, the dog was barking at, and it was, like, a little bag that I guess, like, smelled like skunk, okay? He opens the bag, and to his surprise, it's empty. It doesn't have anything. It has a shaving kit. It's fine. So then he's, like, looking through, and he sees, like, a little prescription bottle that has, like, ADHD medication. And he's like, sir, could you remind me what was your name again? And he goes, Adam. And he goes, who the fuck is Sally? I was like,
shit.
we're screwed. Oh, we're screwed.
All right, they're really reaching.
We're screwed. Rami saw this whole scene. He turns to me and he's like, how well do you know this guy? I was like, I met him last month. He goes, I'm sorry, Adib. We're going to have to throw him under the bus. I was like, we're throwing him under the bus.
100%.
Because I'm sorry. I don't know you. I don't know you that well.
You knew him well?
I don't
We'll
know
have
you
to
that
hop
well.
in
Like,
there.
you know, I'm
Right.
sorry. At this point, Adam's face, like, the color left his face. Like, he was white. He turned white turd. You know what I mean? Like, it was bad. So the
Surprised
officer
not
goes,
like
okay,
they
step
did it.
in a
Right.
line.
Those
I'm gonna have to
Muslims
search you
did it.
individually.
Right.
So he starts with Adam and he's like, okay,
I'm
spread
just
your
white
legs.
European guys.
Adam spreads his
Obviously,
legs,
those
and then he
dudes.
kicks it fucking open. Like, the guy kicks it open. And then I was like, oh my God, this is serious. So he searches him, and then it's like Rami's turn. Rami spreads his legs a little bit more, and he still kicks it open. I was like, oh fuck, it's my turn next. So it was my turn. He was like, spread your legs. I was like, here you go. The police officer's like, okay, the station's over there in one line, follow me. So we're following him. Rami's in the front, me and Adam in the back. So I'm whispering to Adam, I'm like, dude, I'm really sorry. And he's like, don't worry, just tell them that it's not, like, you don't know anything about it because, like, you literally don't. I was like, okay, shout out to you, thank you. Okay, cool. So I forgot to mention this, but while we were driving, Adam tells us that he had an exam a couple of days ago and that he took one of those medications because he actually has ADHD and he studied for an exam and he got an A on it, okay? Just mentioning that, it'll be relevant later in the story. Cool. So we walk into the station and the first thing you notice is it's so bright. Like, it's so many fluorescent lights, it's so bright. No clocks on the walls, no concept of time, no windows, and, like, the jail cells literally have bars on them. I was like, this is insane, but it's fine. There's a long desk with a bunch of officers behind it and we stand in front of them and they're like, okay, give us your phones and give us your IDs. So we give them that stuff and then he's like, okay, does anyone want to fess up on who has this bottle? And then Adam just goes, it's like mine, they had nothing to do with it, they didn't know, blah, 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 blah. So he's like, okay, you two sit on one bench, Adam, you sit on this other bench. Okay, cool. Mind you, we're, like, very close. Like, we can whisper to each other. We're that close. So he checks the medication bottle and he looks inside and he looks at the individual pills and he says, the pills do not have official medication names on them, which means we don't know what's actually on these. Can you tell us what it is? And Adam is freaking out. He's, like, hyperventilating and he's, like, panicking and just being like, I don't know. They're not mine. I don't know. And he's like, you literally just told us it's yours. Like, what do you mean? Like, you know what I mean? He's like, okay, if you don't want to tell us, we're going to call a lab expert and he's going to come over and he's going to, like, test it and then we're going to find out and then we'll know what to do. And he was like, okay, sounds good. The officer runs his driver's license and he finds out that he's an international student. He starts berating him. He tells him, like, are you dumb? Like, you can't do anything as an international student, otherwise you get removed from the country. Now Adam is sobbing. So I interrupt and I'm like, dude, I just have a question. Let's just assume that this medication is exactly what it says on the bottle, like it's ADHD medication. What would happen then? He was like, since it's not his, he would have two options. He'd either go to camp or be removed from the country. And I was like, wait, why would he go to camp? And he'd be like, well, to see a judge. And I was like, what is camp? And he was like, oh, it's a nice word for jail. I was like, are you, like, what the, like, and I was like, what if he wanted to be removed from the country? Like, what would happen? He was like, he would also go to camp for 2 weeks and then possibly be removed from the country. And I was like, these fucking options, man. At this point, he's hysterical. He's prepping himself mentally to be, like, removed from the country. I'm taking down data, like, information on where he could be transferred, the free lawyers that I can call, blah, 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 like, the whole 9 yards. The lab expert comes in and he starts testing the medication, okay? So he's in the back.
It's going to
We
be
don't
like
see him. He's testing
Advil or
everything.
something.
And at this point, we're just, like, waiting. We have no idea
I think
what time
that's
it is.
just
or anything.
anticlimactic story.
And honestly, me and Rami really needed to pee.
His laugh.
Stand up and I'm like, sir, I'm really sorry, but I really need to go to the bathroom. Where's the bathroom? And he goes, oh, it's right behind you. I was like, where? I don't see. And he goes like, it's inside the cell. I was like, inside the cell. I was like, where? And he's like, it's in the corner, like behind the partition. I was like, but there are cameras inside. He's like, you think you get privacy? I was like, amazing. So I go and do my business. I come out, and then it's Rami's turn. Rami goes in, comes out, and he goes, sir, I couldn't find the flush thing, so I couldn't flush. The officer goes, hey, help your friend go flush. I'm friends with you. I did not need to know how hydrated you are. Fuck you, Rami. The police officer starts laughing at us, and then the lab expert comes out, and he's like, hey, I have the results. He gives it to the police officer. He reads them. He starts laughing. He's cackling. And we all look at each other like, what the fuck does this mean? And then he looks at Adam, and he's like, you're one lucky son of a bitch. You know that? And I was like, he's like, why? The police officer looks at me, and he's like, you got scammed. You got scammed, and you're lucky because of that. And Rami's like looking at him like, huh? And he's like, whoever sold you this, sold you vitamins and scratched out their names and told you it was ADHD medication.
Oh, wow.
The way we all looked at each other like, we've been in jail for this? For vitamins? Fuck you, Adam. Fuck you,
Got an
Adam.
A,
Fork
though.
you, Adam.
Our phones
Fork you.
back, and it was 10 p.m.
Yeah.
We walk outside, it's pitch black. We went inside at 3 p.m. We were in there for 7 hours. For vitamins.
That's so funny.
For vitamins.
You really got so lucky with that.
And I'm swearing up and down that that medication worked for him and it got him an A. Fucking vitamins. Vitamins. Livid. Livid. Alhamdulillah, no one, got in trouble because like we're fine, but still. Oh my God.
That was good.
Yeah, that was a solid story.
Yeah.
I did.
Might steal it, make it my own, tell people. That happened to me.
My Airbnb host forged an entire conversation with me, then used that conversation to report me, and now I have a strike on my account.
That's pretty creative.
That's
So
intense.
imagine I'm scrolling, right, in the morning, checking emails. It's 8:04. I see something coming from Airbnb support. I'm like, huh? Immediately, I think it's spam or phishing. I'm not clicking nothing in the email. I go open up the app to see if it's legit. It is. I click this. It says, upon our investigation. I was like, investigation? What do you mean, NCIS? Chill. What
NCIS.
on what? And then I start reading more. It's like your review went against policy, and it is against the rules to put like threatening or negative reviews like for your host or whatever. And I was like, wait, what?
I was gonna say, do you remember when
And then I'm reading further.
Shamshir last week was like, hey, what you do is you get him to say that they fucked up.
Yeah,
Like
that they will take money. Like,
Yeah.
so you're saying that if I pay you for this, you'll put a good review.
She's like, this person's like, why bait them?
Yeah,
You just fucking make it up.
Make up the whole conversation.
Text yourself.
But she couldn't make up the review. I'm interested to see what'll happen.
Yeah.
And then I'm reading further. It was like, if any more actions like this happen, your account can be like banned or restricted. And I was like, pause. Because none of this is making sense right now. Literally none of this is making sense. And I'm staring at the message, confused. And then it's like, do you want to, was the situation resolved, yes or no? I said no. I clicked that chat thing so quick. Apparently, the chat was taking too long, so I just picked up the phone and I called Airbnb support. And I was like, hey, this weird thing happened. Like, I just got this really weird message saying how my review was, like, threatening, and therefore it was removed. And I know the review that I wrote, it was a 3-star review because it wasn't a great experience, but I was very respectful in the entire review, and nothing could have been taken negatively or threatening. And she's like, let me start looking into it. Let me check everything that happened with this. So she said, this was like an open and shut case. The hosts provided screenshots where you were requesting a refund, and because you didn't get it, you left that 3-star review. Immediately I was like, this is fraud. This is a fraud day. This is fake.
Damn, that'd be so hard to prove, though. They're probably like, yeah, right, bitch.
Because never did I ever contact them requesting a
All
refund.
you need is
I'm
like any other cell phone number.
I can
Yeah.
show you the WhatsApp conversation.
Or I'm
I
sure
can
there's
record
apps
it
that can make fake
because
texts, too.
There's
Yeah, it's true. You don't even need to-
There's no record of me requesting a refund. I was like, they literally photoshopped it, or they created a fake chat and pasted my number on it. I was like, none of this ever happened. I'm like, you can check how we corresponded in the Airbnb app, and I can send you screenshots of the WhatsApp chat. And she was like, yes, please go ahead, do that. And she's like, while you're doing that, take those same screenshots and send it to the host and say like, hey, I don't know what you shared with Airbnb.
Damn,
but
Airbnb
this is the
setting the host
conversation
up.
that we have, so please share your records of our conversation. Tell me why immediately two out of the four hosts that manage that listing read it, and none of them responded. So now I'm just waiting for Airbnb's appeal, because they are some lying, scamming people. They literally did all of this just to remove my 3-star truthful review. Like, all of this happened in Turkey, and honestly, this is like probably the third time someone is like attempting to scam me. Airbnb says keep all communications in the app, they mean keep all communications in the app.
I like how she scolds the camera.
Yeah.
Keep all communication. I want to see if there's a follow-up.
Yeah. Did they
Like, what
determine it was
happened?
fraud or not?
Girl?
All these cliffhangers. They never finish their stories.
Well, still, I'm sorry that happened to her, but that is an interesting scam.
Yeah. I'm surprised people don't do that more often.
Yeah, and then like you're like, they deleted it.
Yeah, exactly. How can you ever prove that you didn't have that conversation? They could be like, well, she clearly deleted the messages.
Yeah, exactly. What do you mean?
Huh.
That is wild. I hope. Well,
Dang, I really want to know what happened.
So remember my insane Airbnb host that
Oh,
photoshopped
we're
the
back.
entire conversation
All right.
between him and I, and then used it to report me? Yeah, we have a resolution.
Hey-o.
Long story short, Airbnb was on my side, and I essentially won the case.
Yes.
So basically, this is the message that they sent. They were like following up from what we spoke on the phone regarding your removed review. We assessed it and decided that your review does comply, and we're
after
going
assessing
to
it
put
further, we
back
decided
up.
your review does
Now,
comply
where's
with the
the
standards
review?
after
Because
all.
it's not there. It's not there. I went and I
They
checked
didn't, like,
because one thing I
address,
was going to
like,
was share the review
Yeah,
with
they-
y'all
he
to show
faked
you
it.
how I was respectful and why I gave it 3 stars, but it's not there. So if I don't see it by tomorrow, I'm opening up another case.
Airbnb was playing both sides. They like told her they weren't going to remove it, and they
Yeah.
told him they would because they didn't want to accuse
Yeah,
anybody of lying.
Exactly. We don't know who's lying. So
Yeah.
you know, like at least Airbnb, they'll like give the like I've seen them where they'll like give the refund and they'll not fuck you, like they not
Yeah.
charge you. I had a Rover host,
What's
a Rover
that?
walker. It's like it's like
that
Uber
walks
for
your dog?
Yeah, dog walkers. We had one. She was great. She's an aspiring actress. I guess got a gig or something. Just like on to bigger, better things, walking old ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been setting up like test runs or whatever, like test walks with all these different dog walkers all week. And then I set so many up that like I had like a different one every day. One chick like never showed up, and then but she like, you know, she had a scheduled appointment, doesn't show up. We reschedule. Eventually she's like, hey, and like it's kind of a little nasty about it. You know, I'll just get a refund. We don't have to keep rescheduling.
Yeah.
And then they were like, oh, we've already paid. Sorry, what can we do? As if
What?
like, okay, well then you take a
Rover
fucking
said
loss.
that?
Yeah. They're like, we'll refund you our $2 like Rover fee.
Thanks.
But we've already paid her, so there's nothing we can do. I'm like, what do you mean? Airbnb?
Yeah, they would eat the loss.
Yeah, not Rover. So at least, you know, we bitch a lot about Airbnb.
Yeah, they're not all bad.
Let's see what happens though.
But they could have just told her, we're not going to put your review back, but there's no strike
Yeah,
against
I
you.
think that, well, I guess we'll see what she says, but
But honestly, I don't think this is justice, and I don't think this is good enough, because for me personally, I was going to bury you into the ground. That host should not be allowed to host anymore. They should not be allowed to post anything on that platform, nor should that listing be allowed to be posted anywhere on that platform.
Yeah, they
She-
ban people for less.
you gave it a 3-star review. Like you
Yeah.
didn't give it 2
A
or
1, yeah.
right? Like how
they really
bad
went
was
out of
it?
their way for a 3-star review.
But like, all right, yeah, that's also like a little extra. But she's like, in terms of the listing itself, you don't be like, oh, it shouldn't even be on the platform. You gave it 3 stars. You know?
Yeah.
You said it was okay.
But she's saying it shouldn't be on the platform because they're scammers and they're
Yeah,
like
that's true.
scamming people.
But at least, you know, accurate.
They probably have a shit ton of bad reviews and like have gotten them all removed in the same way.
Have you ever like gone to a restaurant that had super solid reviews and at the end, like the waitress is like, here, and like 5-star me.
Yeah.
And you're like, that's fucking why.
Yeah, that's
'Cause
why they
they harass. They're
Mhm.
good at harassing you.
Yeah, do it right now as I watch over your shoulder.
Yeah, fine.
I do that to people, though. They come into the
You have
office. I'm
to.
like, leave me
You
a
have
5-star
to.
review. I'll wait.
But also, first of all, I'm still mad too that Airbnb did an open and shut case and they didn't even like consult me while this apparent case was going on, while they were submitting these fraudulent.
Well, they thought it was
Photoshop
obvious based on the
conversations.
text.
Not once did they come to me and say this investigation or case was happening. They just told me when it was resolved.
That's how they
at
do
the end,
hosts
which is
normally. It's
why I
just
was
crazy
so
Yeah.
confused.
sometimes
I'm
they
like,
fuck
why
over
are you
guests.
not giving your guests a proper space to plead their case?
All right.
Oh, I'm glad we found that part too.
I'm surprised it's the first time we've heard a story like this.
Yeah, and like now I'm gonna start doing that. All right, we got Jay, who also has some
Your private equity bestie.
has some negative thoughts on Airbnb. Let's see.
After 6 months, I'm shutting down my Airbnb. And let me tell you why.
Oh, she's a
Well, first
host.
off, I have to put a disclaimer. When we bought the property, we never intended to Airbnb the property. However, it was such a good deal, such a good steal, and the house was already an Airbnb that we decided to keep it as an Airbnb. Now let's get into why 6 months later, it's a hard no, hard pass for us. The first thing, people are dirty, okay? I never realized how dirty people are. And I hate to say it, it's been it's been a majority of our women guests. The men, spotless. Like,
That's shocking, actually.
I'll never forget. And I was a fraternity pledge. You had to clean the women's bathrooms at the frat party after band parties, and like it was
Y'all
women
had a
only.
women's bathroom?
Yeah, we had a women's only. Only women used this bathroom, and it was disgusting.
Disgusting?
there. Yeah, I couldn't believe that only females were responsible for what I saw and
That's
had to
hilarious.
clean. Yeah, so I can see what she's talking about.
your occasional toothpaste was wasted in the sink. The women, dirty. Who raised you? I cannot. So that's issue number one. The people are dirty. The second thing is there's a whole bunch of people who preach passive income. Y'all remember that big movement?
It is not
and
passive with
they were saying
Airbnb. It's a lot of
was
work.
away.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. There's nothing passive about owning an Airbnb. In fact, today, after I work my big girl job from home, I got to go to the Airbnb and meet my boo over there, and we're going to clean up. Because we fired our cleaner, that's another story. Can't really afford another cleaner right now. Like, nothing passive about it. It's very much active.
It doesn't sound like that Airbnb was as good of a deal as he thought. If you can't
Right.
afford a fucking maid.
Right. Clearly you're doing this wrong. How much is it made? Like $150 max?
How much are you charging for your Airbnb?
Yeah.
No wonder you didn't last 6 months.
Right.
We're washing clothes every other day. Like, too much. So the non-passive income piece just doesn't work for our lifestyle. Like, I work a very high demanding job. He's in school getting his MBA and works a demanding job. So it's a hard no for us.
Think
Wait,
so.
was there an ending to that?
Yeah, just
That's
like
it?
this. I'm quitting.
Oh. It's probably for the best.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you're hospitality's not for everybody,
Yeah.
and people are dirty. She's
Some
right.
people are not hospitable.
I just had an insane Airbnb experience in Las Vegas, and I have to tell you guys about it. I'm gonna start slow with this because I promise you need a warm up. There was a random man who was never explained that was sleeping on a couch in the living room at all
What?
hours. The host was also sleeping on a couch in the living room. We're coming or going. You were walking by them.
This has to be a shared
A
room,
shared, it has to be.
which is your first problem, buddy.
Right.
But he looks like he's cool with it.
Yeah.
And they always wanted to talk to you, and I'm going to explain why, because they had a reason for that. The decorations in the room I was sleeping in were a mixture of World War II, Chinese water painting, leopards, gnomes, Christmas decorations, and fake money.
So the hosts
Every day that I
are
was there, when I was
schizophrenic.
in the kitchen, she was on the phone refilling a prescription, which isn't a bad thing. Like, if you take medicine, it is what it is, but it was every day, and it was several ones every time, just a weird conversation to have in front of your guests. I don't know. When I was talking to her, I find out that
Or the
we're
guy
from
sleeping
same
on the
city.
couch
She
trying to
goes,
sleep.
I was actually
Right.
prom queen at this high school this year. And I was like, whoa, that's really cool. It's a little weird, however, that she still has her tiara and the trophy from 25 years ago on display. That seems like one of those
the highlight of her life, man.
20-something years. These next ones all kind of tie together, and you're going to explain why if you know what a multi-level marketing scheme is. And if you don't, it's basically a pyramid scheme. She starts using all these weird little social engineering techniques where she's like giving me compliments that are completely undeserved. She's gassing me up in ways that she doesn't know enough about me to say anything positive, right? At one point she says, "Oh, you're very healthy. I saw all the food that you're eating." Mind you. When she said it, she like touched my arm. A lot of strangers touch me for some reason. I'm like, "Oh yeah, I own a couple fitness."
Interesting way to just cut to illustrate like
Yeah,
touching arm.
I wonder why. Maybe he like glossed over it when he first told the story.
Yeah, and then, like, this is how you do it. That's very weird.
Like, "Oh yeah, I own a couple fitness companies," and she's like, "Oh my god, me too." I'm like, "Of course it's a health and fitness MLM. It's always that." She's just peppering me with compliments. She's like,
MLM, that's a
you're
pyramid
multi-level,
scheme, right?
Clearly
Multi-level
smart. You have
marketing.
great
Yeah.
energy. You're this. You're that. Are you gay? No, I'm not gay. She's just like, "Oh, okay," and then just keeps going back to it. Oh my god, I almost forgot this part. She is the whole time they're just. Something's happening there, and I don't know what it was, but
You know what it is.
Finally,
Dude, you look like you know what it is.
is. She's like bringing it all together, and she's like, "You should meet my business partners." I'm like, "No, thank you." She's like, "Oh my god, you can make so much money." I'm like, "No, thank you." And just, ugh. So then I'm walking
Selling
out the door,
coke.
the weirdest word salad that I'm probably not even going to be able to say properly. But she's like, "Okay, stay up, don't ever give up, keep trying hard, always persevere."
You know,
like just
cocaine sales is kind of a
A
multi-level
pyramid
marketing.
scheme. I was
Yeah.
just thinking that.
Yeah, you're buying. They always like make them buy a lot of the product, and
Right.
then these assholes get stuck
Give
doing
it to
it
other
all.
people to sell in smaller quantities and so on and so forth.
Yeah, I guess that,
Never
they're
thought
just-
about it like that.
They are. That's drug dealing.
like, "Okay, stay up, don't ever give up, keep trying hard, always persevere." Oh, like just the essentially a live, laugh, love poster of like just random phrases to gas me up, and I was just like, "What is this shit?" I totally forgot they were eating my food too.
What?
Guess it.
Come on, tell us more about that. He just ended the video with that.
Yeah, that's absurd.
They were
They're not-
eating his food.
guess
That's why
they're-
she was like, "You're really healthy. I saw the food you were eating and also tried it."
Well,
That's weird.
that is weird. That is strange.
But I mean, we've yet to see anybody stay in a shared Airbnb with a good experience.
Well, they just don't make videos about it.
I guess that's
But-
true. Nobody's making good Airbnb experience videos.
Y'all, I'm never doing Airbnb again. I'm not. There has got to be a better way. I don't know what. Please let me know. Drop it in the comments because there has to be a better way. I cannot deal with these Airbnb hosts. I'm an Airbnb host. And I have a certain level of professionalism because I'm a business owner anyways. And I feel like there is a certain level of, customer service you need to have. You're not just renting out your property, you are also in the hospitality industry. And a lot of these property owners, I dare say most of them do not understand this. So here's what happened. So I just received a knock on my door of the Airbnb that I'm staying in. Now already this Airbnb was not even what it was pictured as. Like the pictures that they have on the post, on the listing is not actually where we're actually staying. Like it's really weird because they have like pictures of multiple units. But anyways, that's neither here nor there at this point. I just received a knock on the door. Some man coming to the door talking about, "Oh, I'm here to exterminate." I was not told about this. I don't know anybody's coming. He's a guy.
You don't even know if
dressed
that's really an
in,
exterminator.
Euro-American guy dressed in all black. This is Orlando.
Is
Florida,
Euro-American
for
guy
goodness
like
sake.
code for a white guy?
One of the cities
so.
that has the highest rate of sex trafficking in the United States.
Talking about Orlando? Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't play around when I come back to the States because I feel like it's not as safe. So, of course, somebody comes to the door.
There it is. American mom, global citizen.
Yep.
Sex trafficking obviously not funny, but
Man dressed in all black, has his hat on. I don't know he's coming. I'm not letting the guy in. Period, point blank. You're not coming in. So I tell him, "Okay, well, I'm unaware of this. I don't think we're needed." He's like, "Oh, I'm here to spray." I'm like, "I don't know about this." So I was like, "Oh, we don't need it." "Oh, that's not what the owner says." Owner ain't told me nothing. So he leaves. I write the host on Airbnb and I say, "Listen, some guy just came by saying he's going to exterminate. Did you know about this?" The response I get is, "Yes, I knew about this, let him in. Now, I'm not prepared to receive any guests, so I said, no, I'm absolutely not letting him in. It's not a good time, and I'm sorry, but I can't let him in. She's like, let him in. It comes once a month. He comes once a month. You need to let him in.
We need to schedule that once a month when you don't have a guest.
Like, I don't know the guys coming.
Or at least tell them.
You should have let me know the day before, and I could have arranged, had everything arranged so that he could come in, but now's not a good time, and I'm not letting the guy in. Then she goes on to say how, oh, well, you don't complain about any bugs. If you see any bugs, that's on you. If you complain, that's not my fault. So I'm going to show you some of the screenshots, because this woman doubled down on this not being her.
If the roaches appear, I can't do anything.
She's being super reasonable. If you would have let me know last night, because they go one time a month. It sounds like you knew last month what time it was going to.
Exactly. What if she wasn't home? Then the guy just would have gone in to the Airbnb. I guess he wouldn't have been able to get in.
Yeah. Well, I'm
or
not
maybe
sure.
they would have gave a code or something.
Yeah, maybe he had.
But that would have been even more fucked up. Some guy in there when you're not.
I get
there.
it. Be like, oh shit, we had that person scheduled, but not.
Yeah,
to be
but
like,
not blaming them. Well, if the roaches eat you alive, that's on you.
You're just like, oh, I'm so sorry, my bad. You sure they can't come in?
Yeah,
all right, my bad. And then like, gotta reschedule for to be like, you did this.
Yeah.
And
well, when you're dead from roach infestation, don't blame me.
She was totally blaming me for this whole situation. And I was like, hold on, wait. Why are you trying to blame me? It is your fault as the host, for not informing me that there's going to be a service person coming to the house that I need to let in. In what world is this okay? Y'all, this woman had the nerve enough to write that it was me offending her because I told her that it was clear that she lacks comprehension skills and customer service skills. And if she cannot understand why I am upset that there is somebody at my door that I did not know was coming and that I don't want to let them in and that she is demanding basically that I let her in. After this, I'm sorry, I cannot use Airbnb anymore. I just can't. I'm not going to use it anymore ever again.
She's a little dramatic. I probably would have just let him in.
And
once they said it was like the guy, but
yeah,
I might have still bitched at them for not letting me know, but
also, all right, even if you decide not to let the guy in, to be like, you know what, I'm
never using Airbnb again.
She's host.
Taking her own property off Airbnb. It says
that's insane,
written right there. Yeah,
that makes
no sense.
That doesn't make any fucking sense.
There's a million reasons to get off Airbnb, but this is not one of them.
And to get your own listing off.
Yeah.
I gotta.
She's like, I hate making money. This is it.
Airbnb, you need to do better in terms of making sure that every person that is on your platform understands that they're in the hospitality industry. While you're at it, you need to make sure that nobody is charging more than 15% above what the current rental rate is in wherever they're located at, so that you are a part of the solution when it comes to these rental crises and the rental prices increases, because you're making it very difficult for travelers. This is absolutely ridiculous. Back in the day when I first started using Airbnb, I was in love with Airbnb. Now it's a complete hassle and I'm sick of it because so many property owners on here don't understand what kind of industry they're in. They're just money hungry, and this is just wrong. Like, I'm done.
All right. Well, you're being a little extra, but that's okay.
Yeah.
You'll be fine without Airbnb.
I got fully catfished by an Airbnb and I never thought that would happen to me. Just warning you, if you're using Airbnb, please be careful. Me and my friend are in LA. We booked this ages in advance and I kept thinking, why is this guy being so nice? He's really putting in loads of effort, but maybe he's just really sweet. The number one thing that we wanted was 2 bedrooms and we were willing to pay more, so we filtered 2 bedrooms. Her uncle and auntie drops us off. The more we drove towards the location, it started to look really dangerous. And her uncle and auntie are really sweet, so they were like, oh, you know, it's not too bad. It just looks like
British people say auntie?
Murder documentary.
Thought that was a southern thing.
Caravan park vibe. The Airbnb we booked said it had 2 separate bedrooms. It had lots of pictures, and it also said it slept 4 people. Her
2
auntie
per bed.
goes inside first, and she goes, "Oh, this is cozy. 2 bedrooms, cozy." And then we look outside. There were squatters. I'm not exaggerating. Tell them.
We were already like, what is going on? We've been scammed. I look outside the window, I go, Millie, there are tents.
Damn,
right outside
a
the
homeless
bedroom window.
encampment.
We cancelled it straight away.
I wonder
But we only got,
what
half
city
the
they're in.
refund? Like
Yeah.
a lot of money to lose. Bearing in mind, we were in there for 2 minutes. And then suddenly, after this guy was messaging me every few days before the trip, perfect English, I say, this is wrong, this is not 2 bedrooms like we signed up for. And he suddenly couldn't speak English. He said, I can only speak Spanish. But then he sent me a massive paragraph when I said we were leaving. And he says, I'm in pain, I'm in emotional pain, you're making me so sad. And he goes, I live next door.
Gaslighting us into staying.
I live next door and I'm in pain. I'm gonna bring you a mattress. And we were like, you live next door? So we were basically in his house without realizing. We thought we had a whole house to ourselves.
Yeah.
We were in his house in like a separate room. He said, well, you won't find anything better. Perfect English again. Literally within seconds, Liv found something much better for a cheaper price. Be careful on Airbnb. Don't be gaslit into staying somewhere that's unsafe.
When they said he was next door, do they mean in a room next door to their room inside the house? That's what it sounds like.
Another shared room
Yeah.
situation.
So the house is 2 bedrooms, but you only rented one of them. That's what it sounds like to me.
I don't trust it. I
Yeah.
don't trust it at all. I also
They do sound very classy telling the
I feel
story.
like they have to be in LA.
Or the UK, I guess.
No, they said, look, see, not me thinking American Airbnb hosts were just friendly. Grateful I wasn't alone. So they're in America, and their host habla español, thinking...
Maybe.
Well,
yeah.
the tents, that seems very LA. I mean, obviously there's homeless people everywhere.
Yeah,
But it sounds
but
very California.
California, for
definitely
sure.
Definitely California. Well, not definitely, but I'm thinking California.
Yeah.
And also,
I
like,
agree.
I feel like that's where Europeans
Really
wanna go.
anywhere on the West Coast. It's all
Yeah.
homeless people now. No, I mean, unhoused people. Sorry. How is unhoused any better than homeless? Like,
Well, I guess it's just like kind of like
homeless,
unalived.
you're less of a home, and then unhoused.
I thought it was
like,
experiencing homelessness.
oh, I can't keep up anymore. I thought it was unhoused now because you could still have a home without having a house.
Trump's in office. We can say whatever the
Right.
fuck we want. Got another Airbnb horror story, supposedly,
Another one.
from Hannah.
Guys, I'm finally back on American soil at my vanity in my home. I could actually cry of excitement,
Now I'm gonna do some
happiness, and
skincare.
enjoyment.
It's like the thing.
Don't
Gen
get
Z
me
as
wrong, I
fuck.
love
Yeah.
Korea. I always love going to Korea. I always have the best time there. It is the motherland. It always has a special place in my heart. But I think I've really realized on this trip, I am not meant to travel for more than a week.
I feel like she's obviously in America. To not travel for more than a week to get all the way across the world seems.
To Korea?
Yeah, that means you feel like you're jet lagged the whole time. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not the expert.
Towards the end of this trip, I woke up with so much anxiety. Literally every single day, I was so not okay. We need to debrief because there was just a lot going on with our Airbnb situation. Our flight getting canceled, just literally, hello. Anyways, there was just so much going on at once all the time. So when my parents originally booked this trip, we were supposed to stay in an Airbnb and then a hotel in Busan and come back to Seoul and stay in another Airbnb. The first half of the trip was absolutely amazing. We had no issues, but the third Airbnb after Busan, when we first walked into the Airbnb, there was 3 flights of stairs that were so insanely narrow, like giving Brandy Melville, Bella Hadid stairway. And we had 6 pieces of luggage to get up these stairs, and it would have been fine if we knew, but the Airbnb description did not say there was stairs, and there was no pictures of these stairs.
Is that a reasonable thing to like demand that?
Right. I think it is an option to choose no stairs, but if you didn't filter for that, then
handicap
whatever.
accessible or something?
Yeah.
But we were just like, okay, we'll make it work. We got all of the luggage up the stairs, and then we check out the rooms, and my mom is like, Hannah, this room that you're staying in kind of smells like pee. In my mind, I was like, no big deal, I'll be fine. This is not the worst thing in the world. Like, it's just a kind of bad smell. I knew we were only gonna be staying there for the last 2-3 days of our trip, so I was like, I'll suck it up, like no big deal, whatever. And this was at nighttime, so we all go to bed.
I'm over
We're
here
laying in
taking
bed, and my
makeup
mom
tips
knocks
from
on the
her,
door
like,
and comes in, and she's
that's how you do
smell
that.
something really
Yeah.
bad?" And I was like, not really. I step outside of my room, and our whole entire Airbnb smells like fucking shit. Like somebody took a
Wait,
big
one
fat
and
fucking doozy
two?
crap on the middle
Somebody
of the
pee-peed and
Airbnb. And it
poo-pooed?
just keeps getting worse and worse, and we're like, oh my god, this is sewage. I
Well,
don't know
yeah, it's a
if a
septic
sewage
tank or
line
some
burst or something, but the whole place smelled so bad. So obviously we're like, we're not staying here. My mom gets on the Airbnb app, messages the owner, and she's like, we need to cancel this immediately. But we ended up staying there that night, and then the next morning we immediately left and went to a hotel. And the hotel was great. I was so relieved to be out of the Airbnb, but I think it was just the constant moving around that had me like just so I don't know. I was so ready to be home. Okay, my makeup is like pilling and it's really pissing me off. So I'm gonna go take it off. I hate when my makeup does this. It makes me so mad. I think it's this like BB cream that always makes my makeup pill. But I'll finish the story anyways.
I heard peel. She said pill, I now know.
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
She's saying peel is what she meant.
Oh, it's just
unless she
captioning
means
pill?
pill.
I don't know. I don't know about
Is it called pilling like when your sweater gets the little like fuzzy balls?
I'm the least qualified
Pilling?
person to answer that question. I have no idea.
So last night we were staying in the hotel. We found out that our flight got delayed by 4 hours, meaning we would miss our layover in LA. A whole plethora of phone calls in English and Korean, and then both flights just ended up canceled. And we ended up rebooking an entire new flight, one way back to Atlanta. And before that flight was booked, I was obviously stressing the fuck out because I wanted to go home so bad. And now here I am back in my humble abode. So that was the last like 72 hours of my trip. Other than that, I had the best time ever. I did so many cool things, saw so many cool things. And it was cool to experience it as an adult because the last time I went, I was 16. So I'm really grateful that I was able to go again and that my parents were able to bring me. But anyways, I'm gonna go take all this makeup off my face. Love you guys. Bye.
She spent the entire video putting the makeup on her face.
Just to take it off. It's just like, I don't know how Gen Z has like such a short attention span, but they can pay attention to these videos while something completely different is happening. They're like arranging flowers or putting makeup on. That's all I was looking at was her putting the makeup on. I didn't even listen.
I'm just wondering if she's pilling or not.
Right, pilling.
And that Airbnb was pilling for sure. That's worst Airbnb rental ever.
To anyone who wants to rent an Airbnb in Florida, do not rent at 238 Aiden's Landing.
Call them out.
In Haines City, Florida.
Nobody's renting in Haines City, Florida, lady. Don't worry.
We had to keep the sliding back door closed last night because the latches break.
I knew she was going to be dramatic.
Why do you care that much about that?
Yeah.
Walls are nasty.
It's a scuff mark.
Right.
No, there's scuff.
There's more. Beds weren't cleaned, broken slabs in beds. Look at nasty walls, nasty.
There's just scuff marks on the walls.
Yeah,
Relax.
all right, we got one broken sliding door, and
Right.
they figured out how to fix.
Right.
Although I'd
They
argue
rigged
maybe
it.
it's safer to not have the tie system, because then they're like, oh, all you gotta do is like fucking jiggle this thing a
Right.
little harder. It'll break that fucking rope, and then.
But if they're there, they're already planning on breaking in, so.
Moldy ass dishwasher that doesn't even work and has brown dirt, brown water in the bottom. I mean, come on.
That's more
How
legitimate.
gross is this?
It's
And
gross.
you're supposed to be an Airbnb host. So whoever tries to rent, do not rent from 238
Is that it?
Aiden's Landing in Haines City.
This is not the worst one in the world, lady.
Thank
Clearly you don't
God
watch our
that
podcast.
Airbnb is going to switch our house to another house fully comped today.
Fully
No
comped.
problems with
Airbnb is all over the
Airbnb,
place
Just the nasty hole.
with their responses.
Hashtag slum. What was the address? I kind of want to Google it real quick to see what it looks like. 238 Aiden's Landing. Hold up.
And then some weird city. Do you do all your browsing in private browsing?
No. That's just...
I saw it say private browsing. I was like, ugh, are you sure you want to put this on the TV?
That seems like a pretty legit
Yeah, it
spot.
looks nice.
Oh, there's that fucking sliding door.
It's
all right.
open
You
in
know
the
what? I just
picture.
realized though.
What?
Look at that sliding door. Look what it's in front of.
Oh, it's like in this closed
Yeah.
thing.
There's no access to the outside world from that sliding door. That's just going to the pool house.
True. True.
Haines
Yeah.
City.
Worst Airbnb in the world was definitely dramatic.
Where is Haines City?
I can't believe Airbnb gave them a full refund and comped them a place just for that.
We'll call it the worst Airbnb in Haines City.
Right.
That will give you. This is another Airbnb horror story where I saw the word nude.
Yes.
There was a naked man in our Airbnb. Around 2 hours ago, we walk into our Airbnb.
I love that he's
which
like,
is
this
a
is
shared
live.
Airbnb,
Which is a
so it's
shared
living
Airbnb.
space and
Yeah,
two
you dumb
private
motherfucker.
rooms.
You got it.
Right.
You got to see dick if you get a shared Airbnb. If you don't want
That
to
is a risk you took.
Yeah.
There was a naked man in our Airbnb. Around 2 hours ago.
I also love that they're playing this song too.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Walk into our Airbnb, which is a shared Airbnb, so it's a shared living space and then two private rooms. And we walk into, me and my fiance, We walk into our room, and there's a naked man splayed out on the bed.
Oh, wow.
Around 60
He
years
was
old.
in the wrong room.
Yeah, so close the door, and I'm like, what just happened? So immediately I'm like, okay, maybe that wasn't our room. We check the instructions. It was definitely our room. We walk into the room that's adjacent to it. That was supposed to be the other person's room. And the door is wide open, and there's obviously somebody else's stuff on the bed, and there's also an envelope with somebody else's name on it with keys in it. So we know this is not our room. We know that this man was in our room. So we wait outside. The man comes out in a bath towel.
Y'all woke me up.
And we're like, hey, that was our room. And he's like, oh yeah, so sorry. And he didn't really have an explanation for anything. All he said was, I'll be leaving in an hour and a half. Come to find out, the room next to our room that had the keys and the envelope was his room.
Yeah, duh. Come to find out.
And for some reason, he decided to...
He probably thought nobody was
I guess
renting the
just
other
take our
room, and
room as
he's
well.
like, let me spread out.
We're now at a hotel. This happened like 2 hours ago. So we're now at a hotel, and hopefully we can get a refund because I just didn't really feel comfortable staying there.
I'd seen his ass crack.
Yeah.
Crazy story.
I mean, come on now. It's a shared B&B.
Right.
That's what you signed
Everybody,
up for.
like, who are these people renting these shared Airbnbs?
You're with your fiance. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, she's not bitching at you?
Cheapskate? Right.
Yeah. You're lucky she said yes, dude. Okay, so this is a host story.
Now, imagine turning up to your Airbnb and the locks have been changed. Yep. That was me. I have to laugh or I will cry. Let's backtrack a little bit. I was getting ready to dance like this at church the next day, so I was sleeping 4 a.m. when I got a message. Hi, I've lost the keys and been locked out. What can you do about this? 16 minutes later, these individuals were booting down my door.
I can't believe she's like covering up their faces.
Yeah. Why?
Yeah. Put them on blast. And not even to do a good job. Like, he gets out of the square every few seconds. You can see that dude's face.
When I woke up in the morning, of course I panicked. I saw the Ring doorbell. However, I went to church and decided to go to the Airbnb late in the evening once they had checked out because I was not ruining my Sunday.
They're also waving at the doorbell, like throwing gang signs. Did you see that?
She's like, I'm just going to go to church and not worry about it till later when they're banging on her, like kicking the door down.
When I got there, yep, the place was a mess. There was makeup absolutely everywhere. Alcohol bottles, balloons, canisters, vapes, you name it. The place was trashed. Now, if it was just things I could easily replace, unclean, for example, the carpet, I wouldn't be so mad. However, they thought it was a good idea to change the locks.
That is splitting, man.
Like, you could have literally done anything else. Called me, gone to the neighbours, waited till the
Didn't they
morning,
already
or gone
kick
to
the
your
door
home.
in?
You know, the one you came from, but you decided to spend £200 to change the lock on an apartment that's not yours anyway. Now, I would not be making this video unless I had a solution. So number one, because my cleaners were unavailable, I had to clean the whole apartment and called up some trusty friends to help. On top of which, I was able to contact Booking.com because I had already taken a deposit. I was able to retract that deposit immediately, which helped with any damages. When it comes to running an Airbnb, you need to know the right amount of deposit to take and also the right insurances to have in place. Of course, running an Airbnb is very fast paced, so I had to get the property up and running for the guest check-in in 12 hours. Despite having a solution and acting it out, it's so sad to see that some people actually think it's acceptable to leave somebody else's property like this, but I guess we're not all brought up the same.
I think what happened, though, is that they obviously were like, all right, well, we're going to get it. We're getting in.
Right.
I'm
One way or another.
I'm not strong enough to kick it down.
I mean, she took so long to respond to them that they had time to call a locksmith and get the lock
That's what I'm
changed.
saying, like,
you left your guests hanging.
You fucked up, lady.
Yeah,
Now it's
all
kind
their
of,
shit's in there. Like, who knows? Maybe they had somewhere to be.
it's hard to kick down a door than you think.
Yeah.
Usually just fucking hurt your ankle. All right. Let's get some more final Airbnb stories. This better be really bad, blonde lady. Oh, no, she's crying.
Guys, when you stay at an Airbnb, your cleaning fee does not cover things like rearranging the entire house, okay? We as hosts do not have time to do that.
Okay, lady.
And then when we say no pets, don't tell me that a cat is a service animal.
It can be.
Because according
legally.
to the ADA rules, it is not.
That's not true.
That's
I
not
should
true.
not be finding all my rugs ruined with cat pee and cat litter throughout the house.
This
It's not
dramatic
okay,
music
guys.
is hilarious.
I don't like, seeing people cry, but like,
Yeah.
she's crying over some dumb shit.
Yeah.
And for her to be like, I gotta film myself.
This music.
Look at me throw out the cat peed rugs.
Oh wow, an empty like fruit snack wrapper.
I forgot to throw this fucking
Right.
Big Newton bar away. Oh, they broke my chair. That was a shitty chair. Though.
Right.
There's
trash in the trash can. Why are you showing us that?
You had to empty out a cup of water. What is with
what, a seashell? I hate this bitch.
Yeah, me too. I'm glad she's crying.
All right, this is whatever. They got water on the sink. Big whoop.
They left the
Oh
K-cup.
my God, lady.
Oh, there's a cat toy on the ground. Who's gonna play with it now?
Aw.
Little dog for a cat.
Okay, there's like a few tiny toys left behind.
And believe it or not, I didn't even show you the complete disarray the
You
house
should have showed us that because you
in.
showed us a bunch of bullshit.
From rearranged furniture, which is what she started the video about.
Right.
She's like,
show us the before and after.
Yeah, to cat scratches on several tables. This also forced us to change all AC filters prematurely, replace the broken shower head, clean stains from the upholstery, and buy new rugs and comforters all before a same-day check-in. Today has me ready to throw in more than just a towel.
All right, nothing to cry over, lady.
Damn, lady.
How much furniture could they possibly have rearranged? Like, chill.
Especially to not, you guys she just hit us with a montage of the dumbest, most mundane shit.
Here's
and
a toy. Here's another toy.
And then no
Trash in the
photo
trash can.
of the arranged furniture.
Right. She literally showed us trash in a trash can in an empty snack wrapper.
I don't trust. I think Kellyanne
Were they
is a
supposed to
liar.
empty the trash for you? Like,
And like for like usually when that's gonna really piss me off is when it's overflowing.
Yeah.
There was 2 paper towels in that
Right.
bitch. I wonder if there's a part 2 because she's so crazy. Let's see what our Airbnb guest left behind this time. This doesn't seem like the same.
Welcome to the beach. It's Labor Day weekend and we just had a guest check out. So let's go see if they left anything behind. I must say, after the cat experience the other day, I'm a little nervous.
Oh no, Mick
who
Ultra bottle.
cares?
What the fuck?
Sand? Yeah, you're at the beach.
Was some of that litter
No, I think that's just
sand? No, I meant like the litter that she found. Could that have been
yeah,
sand?
Yeah. This is how I leave my Airbnbs. Clothing tags, I would do that. Whatever. An unfinished bottle of
All
water.
right, so we would definitely have them back. Everything looked pretty good. Everything was pretty normal, covered under the cleaning fee. Just some sand and looks like they just bought a bunch of new clothes. So I'll take it.
I was certain she was gonna bitch.
Me too. Yeah.
All right, well, fine. You're fine, Kellyanne. I apologize. I
We
jumped to
hate you
conclusions.
slightly less.
Well, that was another episode of Once Upon a Bnb. This is Ian.
This is Maha. See you later, guys.